Leon and who did he, oh, JDM. Thoughts on that fight at all?
None.
You don't
None,
got no
bro.
thoughts on that fight.
None, bro. None.
Okay, fair enough.
They ain't got no thoughts on the fights, nigga.
Well, that's what I'm kind of saying. Like, that's why we missed your presence because if I'm keeping it a buck too, like there are a lot of top level fighters right now who aren't really even making noise. And so I think that does rise your stock, like we talked about earlier. But okay, since you got nothing to say about that, I guess anything about like JDM's injury because it's my biggest thing that's like pending for JDM.
Mhm.
3 surgeries, out for
Mm.
about a year. You're returning against Leon, so I mean, you can't say anything for sure, but I think this is going to tell a lot for JDM because I mean you've been on antibiotics for like a whole year.
100%. And then going because I'm sure he couldn't hit with it, right? Probably sore, like swollen. You talking about they had to cut you open just to clean it out.
At least six
Um,
months no training for sure.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, like we got to see it. So we got to see how he come back and see, what he was able to do and how he was able to train with that type of situation going on because that is very difficult, right? To be able to deal with that and have to deal with that because I think that boy was probably hospitalized for me, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'll be
Okay.
intrigued, man, to see how JD will come back from this type of injury.
Okay. And something else I remember hearing is DC said that JDM is like the biggest rising star at 170. Again, I was like fucking baffled.
Where DC be getting this shit, boy? It's crazy, man.
Hey, you know how I told you that DC he probably low key likes you like a little brother. I think he might still be salty after that take. I was like, dude, DC, how the fuck are you thinking JDM's the biggest rising star? We haven't even seen him. He barely talks. He's a good fighter,
No, great fighter, great
but like
fighter.
star power, like what? Because he's Australian? Like,
The,
I don't think it's that easy.
The Australians don't even know his ass, bro. Like,
It's not
and
that easy.
and look, so this came from Brian when he told me because when we was gonna hook it up because we was gonna try to. So they called me last minute. Remember that? They called me last minute
For
for
what?
JDM fight because I was out there in Vegas. I forget when it was. It's when he had fought the dude from LFA. And Daniel almost lost.
Yeah,
He almost
Basil
lost the brother.
Hafez.
Yeah. So I was like, look, I'm good, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't been training. I've been eating good. Hey, but we could set up something bigger, right? Instead of fighting right now, they got one in Australia, bro. We can book something up. So, I called Brian, I tell him the idea. He called me back and was like, bro, he ain't got no market out there. That's what they
Oh,
said. You know what I mean? At least that's what Brian told me. That's what they said. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's crazy.
yeah.
Like the
I
only
mean, I
place they
think
should.
they be propping these guys up. And what's even crazier, I'm gonna start something here, I guess. But I'm just being real. This is the things DC said. Like DC goes ahead and says like shit like it's hard for, minorities to get across, to break through into that star power.
Nah, it's
And
hard for
then you're
niggas.
turning
Nah, it's hard for niggas, bro.
okay,
I don't care what no
I'm gonna
shit.
let you
DC
say it.
still trying to break through. You hear me? So
Yeah.
my thing is, it's just like the internationally, we the biggest sport, damn near right behind soccer, right behind.
Right,
We
right.
ain't bigger than soccer, but we right behind it when
Soccer
it
than
comes to
UFC.
right, that's just my opinion, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't really know the numbers on that, but I feel like out of all the sports, bro, I feel like
Worldwide.
internationally we one of the biggest sports known. Um, Domestically, uh, we're also a big sport, but we're only big to a certain demographic, which is white males. Like yes, you got a melting pot of fans, of course, but what's the biggest lump? What's the biggest data? The white man, not like the man, motherfucker.
Yeah. But
But no, but it's white guys. Like the black dudes, we watching boxing. We just gonna keep it a buck, right? Like I want to try to get the boxing market over to the UFC.
so there's not as much of like a black market in UFC, you don't think?
That
Even
no,
fan wise, fan base wise, that you think they're all over watching
mainly
boxing.
that's what I'm talking about. The fan base. There is a fan base, but it's not large.
Yeah, it's more so in boxing still.
So
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to be one of the first person to kind of cross that over.
Yeah, I think you can for sure. But I just thought it was funny because when DC said that thing about JDM, like the week before, he said that thing about like I guess black fighters not being able to cross over. And I'm like, dude, you just said this, and now you're saying JDM's the biggest star. Say Buck is the biggest star. You know he is. So like, just say it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
like I said, for
I'm
me,
bringing it up now.
no, you good. But
Yeah.
for me, it's just like fuck the cosign. I don't need nobody to hold my hand. We gon' cause we already been doing it. We just gonna stay consistent with it. That's the only thing that I haven't stayed consistent. Everything else I stayed consistent with. The only thing I haven't stayed consistent with was the material in the content. And everybody say, man, Buck, you do a great job. But y'all ain't seen shit yet.
Yeah. There's one
Ain't
thing I
nobody
would
seen
say.
shit yet.
I feel like one thing I want to see from you, just like as a fan, would be like some training footage, like some day-to-day shit.
So that's where the snap is coming in. That the snap just follows my whole day and my whole training and how we get down. But the thing is, though, I got to be very selective on what I'm putting out there because we still trying to work towards something.
Yeah, you can't show too many techniques, right?
Yeah, because no, don't get it twisted because people gonna steal.
Right, I agree.
There's a lot of things that I do that could work for a lot of fighters out there. Promise you, right? But don't think you're gonna get that shit for free, right? So all my training methods from not only from striking, not only from my wrestling, not only from my jiu-jitsu, because I don't even feel like you need to be a black belt, bro. Like everybody be thinking like you have to be a black belt level, which already been proven from a lot of guys that's in the UFC that they black belt's not even real in the first place. But I feel like you need a blue belt level, right, of defense, and some at least 3 submissions.
Okay.
And you good.
Yeah, that's kind of true. It used to be black belt back in the day, but so it's been evened out over like the last 5-6 years.
100%, right? But people put too much thought into jiu-jitsu. But if you play a jiu-jitsu game, I promise you're gonna get knocked out. I promise you, right? With everything that we do with elbows, with the hammer fist, right? Playing on that ground and playing jits is not the best thing. But regardless, so I got a system that I've developed over time. Some things I found out, man, bro, that's dumb. I shouldn't be doing it. But then some things I created, I'm like, damn, I need to keep doing that because ain't nobody else doing it. It's just like people don't want to see because they just want to see that I'm just a raw fighter, right? I'm just a powerful, athletic, you know what I'm saying, fast guy. Like it's just hard to keep up with me. But they don't really know it's a system behind all this madness. But eventually, once I get the belt, that's when people gonna really start to ask questions.
100%. Sucks that you have to, do all that work, but it's how the game works, I guess you could say.
It's how the game works because because with all this work that I'm putting in and what I'm building, what I'm creating with my team that I got now, my solid foundation, I'm always repping this right here. Me and my brother, right? Brick by brick, we done created a team. Each person is helping me, like I said, with my personal brand and building me up where I didn't have that before. All we was focused on was just fight. All we was focused on was just fight. But now we focusing on that's the business aspect of Buck, right? Going out and having talks and having engagements and doing meet and greets and doing open workouts, right? Like this, nothing I gotta rely on the UFC to do. Like I can go to wherever state where the UFC got an event going on, open workout, meet and greet, seminar, right? Just little stuff because I'm out there. And this gives me a one-on-one engagement with my fans, man, and to really let them know who the fuck I am.
I would say too, I enjoyed the lives back in the day. I enjoyed those. I think you should have kept doing them.
No, we're gonna keep doing them. We gonna get back to it, right?
Yeah, the lives are just good. They can hop on right there on the Instagram. Sometimes it's harder to get them to like go onto the YouTube. You know what I mean?
But that's what we're trying to figure out how to do though.
Yeah. I feel you. You gotta like use the Instagram, but trust me, I feel like because even if you do more lives, like if those numbers go up crazy, I think it'll still translate over to YouTube. So I'm just telling you, from like a fan perspective, I think the fans fuck with the lives a lot.
No, I'm gonna get with that being said, Jacob, we're gonna get back to the lives.
Okay, for sure.
We're gonna get back to the lives.
Okay,
100%. Because also it's just a direct line.
It is, and everybody's on Instagram, like they keep checking in, so they see it. YouTube, you gotta be like sitting down.
Right.
So
no, I got you. I get exactly what you're saying. It's right there on the phone. Boom, right? And they also get that notification, hey, Buck live right now. So it's just a lot of things that we already been doing. We get into it, but it's more strategic now. Cause I ain't gonna lie, we was just doing shit. Right? But now we figuring out, okay, this shit work. Right. So how can we make it play in our best hand?
So no more podcasts and shit? You're still gonna do that? Because I know
no, we already doing a pod. Yeah, we just did our pod. We was gonna do one tonight, but the producers ended up leaving. So now like I said, we gotta keep it in-house.
Gotcha.
So we gotta build up our own studio. Like I said, man, we really gonna invest some dollars in this shit, bro. And so we don't have no excuses.
Right.
No excuse.
That's what you gotta do. I think Kamaru, somebody owns his podcast.
Somebody owns it?
I think that shit gets facilitated.
That actually makes sense. No, that actually makes sense.
Yeah, I think somebody does that for Kamaru and Henry, but you're trying to own it. That's harder. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to do. So I think there's more payoff in that.
Yeah, we build it.